A woman stands naked before 12 French soldiers, their rifles aimed at her heart. She refuses the blindfold, stares them down, and allegedly blows a kiss at her executioners. This is Mata Hari, the spy who supposedly caused the deaths of 50,000 French soldiers. But what if I told you she was completely innocent? What if the real conspiracy wasn't her espionage, but the French government's calculated murder of an innocent woman? What if everything you know about history's most famous spy is an elaborate lie designed to cover up one of the greatest military cover-ups of World War I? October 15, 1917. A woman stands before a French firing squad, refusing a blindfold. Margaretha Zelle, known as Mata Hari, met her end at age 41, portrayed as the ultimate femme fatale. But what if everything you know about history's most notorious spy is a lie? Today, we're diving deep into one of World War I's most controversial executions and the shocking conspiracy that may have sent an innocent woman to her death. The making of a legend born Margaretha Zelle in the Netherlands. The woman who would become Mata Hari was far from the exotic mystery she later portrayed herself to be. Her transformation into the sensual dancer Mata Hari, meaning Eye of the Dawn in Malay, was born out of desperation rather than espionage. After a disastrous marriage and the tragic loss of her children, Margaretha reinvented herself in Paris as an exotic dancer. But here's where the story gets interesting. Her performances were more theatrical than erotic, and her supposed Eastern mystique was completely fabricated. She wasn't Indonesian royalty as she claimed. She was a struggling Dutch woman trying to survive in a world that offered few options for independent females. The perfect scapegoat. When World War I erupted, Europe was consumed by paranoia. Mata Hari fits society's profile of a female spy perfectly. Beautiful, seductive, and duplicitous. That's why the Germans, British, and French all thought she must be a spy, even when they couldn't find evidence. But why did the French authorities target her specifically? The answer lies in France's desperate need for a scapegoat. By 1917, France was bleeding. The war was going catastrophically wrong, with horrific casualties mounting daily. The French public was demanding answers. Someone had to be responsible for their boys dying in the trenches. French intelligence needed a villain, and Mata Hari's lifestyle made her the perfect candidate. The prosecutors were unable to present any direct evidence of her spying, instead repeatedly using her presumed lack of morals as evidence of her low characters. Captain Pierre Bouchardon, the military prosecutor, openly stated his reasoning. Without scruples, accustomed to make use of men, she is the type of woman who is born to be a spy. This wasn't justice. This was character assassination masquerading as counterintelligence. The evidence against Mata Hari was shockingly thin. Prosecutors never presented proof she worked for German intelligence, except for a mysterious receipt showing 5,000 francs, which turned out to be a gift from her old lover, the Baron. But the conspiracy goes deeper. Agent Georges Ledoux, who led the charge against her, had secrets of his own. In his intense quest to punish Mata Hari, Ledoux might have fabricated evidence. Some historians believe Ledoux fabricated telegrams because he needed a scapegoat to explain to the public why the war was going so badly. Think about this logically. If Mata Hari was truly the master spy France claimed, why couldn't they produce a single piece of concrete? No intercepted communications, no witness testimonies, no stolen documents. Nothing but accusations based on her moral character and lifestyle choices. The reality becomes even more disturbing when you examine the trial itself. She was tried in a closed military court without a fair chance to defend herself. Her defense attorney faced significant constraints, unable to introduce witnesses that could have supported her case. This wasn't a trial. It was a predetermined execution with legal theater wrapped around it. Here's the smoking gun that reveals the true conspiracy. Although French and British intelligence services suspected her of spying for Germany, neither could produce definite evidence against her. Yet she was executed anyway. The French government needed someone to blame for their military failures, and Mata Hari, with her foreign origins, unconventional lifestyle, and lack of political protection, was the perfect sacrifice. The Mata Hari case represents one of history's most successful propaganda campaigns. French authorities created a myth so powerful that it survives over a century later. They transformed a struggling Dutch dancer into the archetypal female spy, using her execution to distract from their own military incompetence. Modern historians who've accessed previously sealed French records have reached a damning conclusion. There had not been sufficient proof that Mata Hari was a spy. She was innocent, executed not for treason, but for being the wrong woman in the wrong place at the wrong time. The real conspiracy wasn't Mata Hari's alleged espionage. It was the French government's calculated murder of an innocent woman to maintain public morale during a devastating war. If this story of government conspiracy and injustice shocked you, hit that like button to help expose the truth about Mata Hari to more people. Subscribe and ring the notification bell because there are countless other historical lies waiting to be uncovered. What other famous spies do you think might have been innocent scapegoats? Let me know in the comments below. Your theory might be our next deep dive investigation.